Yep, we can see your screen.
Okay. Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to Salesforce Developer Group Ajmer. Before we start and move ahead with our session, let me first introduce myself. I'm Monica Ramchandani. I am a senior software engineer, a community group leader, TEDx speaker. I am also, the runner-up of India's first Agentforce hackathon, which happened in Bangalore this year. I am the founder of sfdcgirl.com blog, and I am also a content creator at sfdcgirl YouTube channel. These are my social media handles. If you want to connect with me, you can, of course, connect with me over that. Okay. Now, let's talk about today's session. Today's session is about transforming customer experience with Agentforce. Now, everybody is learning Agentforce, right? But today's session is important because it tells us how customer experience is important and how we can transform it using Agentforce. Now, to tell us more about it, we have our speaker for today. I welcome you, Rohan, to our group. Thank you so much for joining us for today's session. Rohan is Salesforce consultant at Neuroflash. He's also a mentor, a community group leader. He is multi-cloud certified. And here are Rohan's social media handles. I'll give it over to you, Rohan, to introduce yourself further and take the session. I'll stop my screen and then you can share yours.
Sure. Thank you so much, Monica, for setting us all up. And now that we have all the context, so yeah, let me now start sharing my screen. And I think Monica did a good
Wonderful.
job in introducing myself as well, so I don't have a lot to say. Let me know when my screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, cool. Okay, so today's topic will be transform customer experience with Agentforce. But before that, so one thing that I like to tell all my audience in all my sessions is that you'll get all this knowledge from Salesforce help docs, from other websites, videos, and all such things. But what you should aim to learn from is the experience of the people who are coming to speak. So, and you'll get the maximum value out of that. So, if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat, or maybe Monica can unmute you as well, because that will give me a good understanding of what your focus areas are and what your doubts and concerns are. Okay, because I have a lot of slides to cover and I have endless decks that I can speak about, but uh, I would love to know what you want to learn about so we can structure the session and discussion that way. Okay, so so this is just kind of my forward statement. And yeah, as I mentioned, so yeah, I work at Euroflash. It's being acquired by Accenture, so lots of stuff is going on. I and It's a smaller company. It's like 500 folks. Um, so I mostly take on the role of a consultant or a solutions architect, because we have smaller teams, so we get to do a lot of stuff. So from initially creating the proposals to discovery, solution design documents, to have implementation, post college support. So I have done it all. And yeah, I work in the data innovation automation division. So everything that is data automation related in Salesforce comes in our bucket, and I'm one of the SMEs who have been working on Data Cloud since the day it was launched, Agentforce as well. And I built the one of the first agents for like my company, which is for a big client that was also shown at Dreamforce last year. Okay, so with that, and I've also worked on core cloud sales service and auto management and configuration flows, Apex, and all these things. But yeah, and so if you're looking to learn Agentforce, there are good resources on Trailhead, Partner Learning Camp. There are good blogs by developer advocates, and people like Monica also have good YouTube channels that you can follow. And there are TREs, technical release enablement sessions, that give you a good overview of the monthly release features that are run by Salesforce officially. So those are super helpful. And yeah, and so this was it basically. Yeah, and I also lead the daily architect group and I lead the Slack daily group. I lead the Copado daily group, CMX Connect group. So I'm a part of the a lot of communities, and I was a part of Accenture when I started. I learned Salesforce there. Then I went to Salesforce itself in Hyderabad. I worked there for a couple of years. I did my MBA from there while I was there, and then I joined Neuroflash because I wanted to like get the feel and experience of a smaller company, and I wanted to do a lot of stuff like in and not in a very well defined way. Like I wanted to define the by myself, so that gave me the opportunity. Okay. Okay, sure. So we don't have any questions now, so I'll continue with this session, and I can share customer use cases, what problems they face, and how they come to us. And as I mentioned, I do have a lot of content on my slides, other slide decks as well. But unless you ask questions, you won't get the value from your speaker's experience. Okay, so this is a quote by Mark Benioff, who is the founder of Salesforce, back in 2024, that he wanted to do this in a large scale way and give customers a level of success with AI, specifically Agentforce. And now we have seen several iterations of Agentforce. Like Agentforce TDX was announced a few months back, and now we have Agent 360, Data 360 all rolling out, and we'll now see Agentforce for voice capabilities as well. So this all sounds interesting, and it's shaping out to be how Mark Benioff wanted to initially, like he envisioned it, and how we are rolling it out to the customers, right? And Neuroflash has been one of the leading Agentforce partners. So we have done a lot of Agentforce implementation since it was launched, and I've also worked on a couple of projects from field service to sales, marketing, all using Agentforce employee agent or service agent, along with data cloud, flows, prompt templates, even model builder. Like I'm working on a data cloud prediction model use case now. So it's all very interesting and new. And one of the important things that you see with these new tools is like how the documentation is very well defined for, let's say, experience cloud service, the older clouds. But since the product is changing so rapidly and new features are being added every month, so the documents sometimes may not keep up. So if you're looking to implement the same feature that you may have heard in Dreamforce, you may not be able to get all the information correctly. So it's really important that you have your dev org, or if you have a partner, like if you're a Salesforce partner, you can also get your SDO, simple demo org, DCDO, and other such orgs that will enable you to experiment with Agentforce, because unless you are in the org, you won't get to know like what all features are there available for you. Okay, so this was just a brief overview, and now we can go in a structured way. So as I mentioned, we have a lot of use cases for Agentforce in Salesforce, for service, sales, marketing, commerce, order management, healthcare, finance, and there are many more industry specific use cases as well. But I've picked a few of the popular ones. And the thing is, like, how these projects are different from your normal projects. Like suppose someone is coming, like some customer is coming to you for a service slash sales cloud implementation. So they already have a good idea of what they want majorly, and they have some idea of what the tool can do as well, because it's very well defined in the documents in other places, and it's an older product, so it has matured a lot. But with Agentforce, so I've seen that customers do want to include it, but they may not be that much cognizant of what all use cases can be developed, right? And so since I assume so majorly of us, so the most of us may be working in the service industry, and we are working in a project scenario. So it's really important to that to act as the trusted advisor of the customer, and then you find the opportunities where these tools can be involved, because they won't come to you directly that we want to include data cloud or we want to include agent first. You need to find the use cases. Like suppose they have implemented service cloud, and you see like there are easy wins with Agentforce. Like case summarization is an easy option that you can do even with the standard agent actions. So you can propose them, and you can also bring in, like if they are using a lot of other systems like Snowflake and S3 buckets and maybe Excel sheets, then you can see that. And it is especially true for an enterprise company, because there the departments are so segregated that sometimes even the different departments like marketing using completely separate tools and sales or service. But the thing is, let me give you an example, and this is how you visualize and understand how many use cases can be developed. Okay, so suppose there's a big company like Adidas or Nike. Like let's take that example because everyone knows them. So suppose you bought a shoe from their physical store. So your data is with them, like this person ordered this pair of shoes on this date, and this was the size and the cost and everything. But it may happen that the retail store, the physical store information is stored in a different system. Let's call it Excel sheets still. And suppose if you are looking at their website, and you want to see how to take care of your shoes well, like how to wash them or how they can be replaced, what is the warranty. So it may happen that Adidas is also, like, once you maybe log into their application, they're tracking like which all articles you are spending more time on. Or suppose if they are sending you email promotions, then they are checking like which email links are you clicking on. So that information, let's say it's stored in Marketing Cloud, right? And let's say if you raise a support case with them and you say that I want to replace the shoes, it's under warranty or something, then that information may be stored in Service Cloud. Or we can also include, like, let's say they are tracking inventory also, because like logistics and warehousing is also an important part in this goods industry. So let's say they have an inventory management solution in place and the information is being tracked there. But it's related to one customer, like the person who interacted with the email is the same customer who brought the shoes from the store, is this, and it's the same person who raised a case. But it may happen that the different departments are tracking the same customer in a different way, right? So when that customer does any action, be it clicking a marketing link or raising a case, it's a separate bucket. Companies, like especially enterprise companies, most of the time don't have the information that, oh, like we are talking about the same customer, right? And the customer has to explain everything again, like I brought the shoes from this store, and this is the receipt, uh, like a and I've already seen these many articles to take care of my shoes, but it's still not working, so I want you to replace them, right? So you will have to repeat the information, right? But if you know that Data Cloud can help in this thing, like it can bring the data in from various sources, you can map it out and you can harmonize it, then it is a good, like pretty powerful use case, and kind of the nirvana state where the customers want to go. But things move slow at enterprise companies. There's a lot of approvals that they need to take, and they want to see that the current systems are not impacted. So it's slow, but like I know many of the companies are on that path. Like they do it in a phase wise fashion, phase one, phase two, and then maybe phase three, and then they go to this advanced use case. But initially you can recommend that case summarization, or let's say Agentforce slash Einstein for service features like case classification, or summer or wrap up, email replies, article recommendation. So these are all accompanying features. Those are easy wins to implement, and those provide good value to the customer. So it's important that you know what all are the possibilities and how they can help them, because the customers may not know about it. Okay, so that was it, and now we can again go back to the slides. Okay, so you may have seen the slide, but I've included some of the Salesforce slides as well. So we know that we are in the third wave of AI agents, and they are smart and they have a reasoning engine in place. And if you may have seen Reinforce demo, especially for Agentforce for field service, you may have seen how robotics is also getting into the picture quite a lot. And many amazing folks like Charlie Isaacs are doing their best to showcase how robotics can also be a part of your digital transformation journey with AI and Agentforce. And we are slowly moving towards AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. Don't want to spend a lot of time on this slide. Okay, so let's understand why is there a need of these AI solutions, or why there's so much buzz or noise around it, and why every company, every customer don't want to be behind in implementing them or pushing out the AI related products for their customers, right? So now things have been different than what it was a few years back. So first of all is higher expectations. So now there are too many tools in the market. So suppose if we see that we have a lot of generative AI tools at our hand, like in India, Airtel is giving Perplexity Pro, and Google is giving an Pro for students, and also so there's a lot of in every tool. So we demand, like as customers, we want good UI, we want good responses, accuracy, uh, good sources, and citations in this case, but it can be true for all the products, right? So it's really difficult to give the customer a very personalized experience uh, without using AI. Or a better way will be that AI makes it easier to give a more personalized, better experience to the customers across various channels. Like earlier, as I mentioned, Agentforce was uh, doing a good job with text-based input, and it's so then a release came in, and Agentforce could also ingest unstructured data like PDFs. And then we are going a step ahead, and we are able to use Agentforce with voice. The product is still, I would say, under development. It's maturing, but some of the Agentforce heavy partners like our company is actively working on like a few pilot projects for a couple of things as well. Okay, and then and as I was giving an example earlier, that there are complex journeys of customers, right? So it's not like you just buy the article from a physical store and that is it. Like it's not kirana shop that you're interacting with. You're taking a lot of their other services as well. So the customer journey from point A to point B is not linear. There are multiverse of things that can happen, and the map can be a bit complex, as I mentioned, in the case of an big enterprise customer like Adidas or Nike, right? So it involves different verticals, it involves different touch points. So the thing is, a lot of these things can be achieved without AI as well, but there are challenges with it. There will be too much manual work, and it will require more resources, more hours. It will be difficult to maintain. But with Agentforce, Data Cloud, and these AI tools, Model Builder, and all these things, it has become a lot easier, right? But unless you do experiment it in your own orgs, you won't be able to see the picture, because like everything works really well in the demos that you see on TDX or connections or even reinforce. But when you actually implement it, you'll see, like I read about like how to implement this thing, but I'm getting this error, and there is no information that you can find about that error on internet. Um, and it's so new that the customer support of Salesforce may not also know like what it is about. So either you are implementing it from a long time, so you know like what are the pain points. And another thing is, you should have the knowledge context of the right channels, right people who can help you out, right? Because these are new things, not a lot of folks are working on them from a customer standpoint. Like I know many people are learning it for their own benefit, which is good, but unless you go on a customer project and implement things, the learning is a little different that way. So there are multiple partner community channels, there are Slack channels, some open, some closed. So yeah, being resourceful and aware is a superpower, according to me. So if you're able to solve an issue faster than everyone, then other people may look up to you, and yeah, you may get more visibility and recognition. Okay, and so data overload, so it is a very important point. And the thing is, so it's the cost or the like any company. So it's not like any company is not having data. They do have a lot of data, but it's not in the format that is usable. And it's mostly even more difficult with bigger customers and enterprise customers when there are multiple data lake houses. They're using Snowflake, S3, Excel sheets, Google Cloud, and other things. So the data is stored in a lot of locations, and there are, let's say, primary keys. There are no proper foreign key alignments, and there are missing values, and like it's not getting updated, refreshed on a periodic manner. It's so like, yeah, like let's not go into that much, but in a nutshell, there's a lot of uh, pain points that bigger companies especially face when they are trying. So so what happens is, let me tell you. So when we are implementing Agentforce or data cloud, so then the first question is like, where is your data stored now, right? And in which format the data is, what are the columns, how many rows are there, what should be the refresh frequency. And then you receive, let's say for example, you received an Excel sheet, and multiple different tables from Snowflake are joined together, so there are repeated values. So it's really difficult, and I'm working on one such project. So like suppose there are 50,000 rows in one table, but once you implement good data cleaning and data preparation strategies, that number can come from 3,000. So you understand the uh, like the unique and the actually valuable records are only 3,000. But let's say the customer sends us 50,000 records. So who's going to clean them, and how are they going to maintain it? Like suppose we clean it for them one time, but if they are not updating their initial data storage, cleaning, prep strategies, they'll face the problem again. So like it's like, so this is what data overload like. So I want to explain it from a customer perspective so you understand. And then the most uh, easy to understand thing, and the most basic thing is the agent burnout. Like we are humans, we may get tired, but machines, AI, they don't get tired, and they can handle a lot of stuffs. And yeah, there have been discussions since long that is AI going to take our jobs. And it it may, and there are people like us who are actually working on these technologies, who will empower the customers so that they can use agents, AI, so that they may not need human resources for some departments, but it's slowly coming up in all the departments. So what I see in the future, there will be, so there may be cut in the team size. Like suppose there are 10 people doing a project, in the future there can be 5 people, 2 AI software engineers, and there are a lot of companies who are doing a good job in making like in creating the code very easily. And Agentforce vibes first launch, so if you have not tried it, you should. And in terms of that, like let's say customer service, it's a very easy to how do I put it in a nice way? So it's a it's a big industry in which many companies are now investing. So and like I mentioned, the agent I built, one of the first agents, so it was actually a case summarization agent, and we were taking inputs from even the voice calls as well as the email data. We were using a prompt template trigger flow. We were giving the output in a prompt template, and then we were inputting it to the agent. So suppose there is a big customer who has, and in the US, um, Black Friday and Cyber Monday are big, super big seasons where like anywhere between 30 to 50% of the sale is done on those 2 days, right? So many companies do hire a lot of contractual uh, service workers that they may train for 15 days, and they are required to work for 1 month, and that is it. But we implemented Agentforce for them, and like it like initially, like once they tried it and tested it, and then they were fine with it, then they felt that they may not need to hire all those extra human service reps, like because the AI agent is doing the job for them. So there are some verticals in which uh, AI is doing a pretty good job now, and it's easy to replace. And for example, in drafting emails as well, like Chegg and all these companies were really big when these tools were not announced, but as soon as they were announced, like who were especially creating content or helping to create content and all, so those kind of got impacted very badly because now we can do stuff for free, right? So there are some departments that are easy to replace and some are slowly catching up. Yeah, Monica, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask after this conversation that does that mean that AI can actually, take our jobs and replace us? What are your thoughts on that? And especially for admins and developers, now that we have Agentforce Vibes as well, which is writing the code for us, deploying it for us, creating apps for us. What do you think about that? Will it replace or will it be just a helping hand for the developers to, so that they can work on more complex tasks and then Vibe can work for them?
Sure. So let me put it in this way. So I'm just trying to choose nice words because I'm generally very frank. And it's being recorded. So, so AI will not entirely replace, but as I mentioned, some departments are easy to replace than the others, and the other departments are slowly catching up. But you need to be one step ahead of these AI tools in a way, because uh, like suppose you are writing an Apex class, right? Um, like as a developer, but think of it from a technical architect perspective. So let's say he wants to develop a service cloud module altogether, so he know that he wants to develop 5 Apex classes, those test classes, those triggers and the flows, and all these things, right? So think of it from that perspective. So as a developer, you can think that, okay, like I want to write this Apex class, so let's use Agentforce or for vibes, and I'll give it the prompt, and I'll give it a very well defined prompt, so it will give me the Apex template, LWC template in seconds, and then I can review and make some edits. Okay, but it will be done in the next 3 minutes. So what is the step after that? Okay, so I'll create a test class. I'll edit it, and after that, so you need to be one step ahead, and you need to keep on thinking. And the people who are going to use AI better than others are going to have are like many to very less about being replaced. But I do see that the team sizes may get reduced a bit, and there are many companies like Cursor is also a big company, and even folks at Salesforce do have a premium subscription of Cursor, and they're using it actively. But I think it will change after Agentforce for Vibes. So many companies are encouraging their employees to use these tools because it greatly enhances the productivity. But you need to be smart enough to know, like, what is the one step ahead. So after this response is generated, so like you don't want to waste your time. You want to know, like, let's work on something else, right? So it will be in that way, and that comes from learning, hands-on experience. It comes from,
Right, right.
yeah. And one thing, like, I see a big shift happening. So when we were starting out in our careers, so it was quite easy to enter into any ecosystem, because there was a space for junior people,
Yeah, that's
because
true.
the companies actually needed them. They wanted to train them so that they can be uh, like skilled up. And even I also got trained by Accenture in sales. It was like I had a 2-3 months long boot camp, question answers, and then I got assigned on projects. But now, there are very less, like, still putting it in a nice way, there are very less companies who want uh, people who have less experience, less than two
Correct.
years 3 years experience. And even
Yeah, I mean, every company needs an experienced developer now. It's like for trainees and freshers, it's a bit more difficult
right,
uh, than it was for us. That's for sure.
exactly. And the reason is that whatever work that we were doing as junior developers or junior consultants is already being done by AI. So why don't
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
so so why do you need someone to write a basic Apex class when a senior
Correct.
developer is like can generate the template from any AI tool, and it can and
Hmm.
and they can edit it, right? So So you need to be more visible in the overall ecosystem. I would say you need to show what you have been building so that companies take notice of you. If companies are not going for hiring drives for freshers, like many of the big IT MNCs were doing a lot of hiring drives when we were in the college and we wanted to get jobs, so that made things easier. Like you start with the small like a big service based companies, and then you define your career path after 2 years once you have learned, right? But that thing is a bit difficult now, so you need to be cognizant, you need to be aware, you need to be resourceful, and yeah, do some hands-on stuff because that is important.
True, well said, and with wiser and better words, I guess.
Yes.
Please go ahead with the presentation. Do you want to take the questions between your session, or you'll take it
Yeah,
all
it's cool.
after the
Yeah,
session?
like because as I said, I do have a lot of content. It will not end, so you can take questions.
We have questions in the Q&A section. Do you want me to read it out to you? Is it
Sure,
okay?
sure. Yeah, sure. Please do. Thank you.
Okay, so there's one question from Abhishek. He says, how can we justify that Agentforce is working or will be working as expected in production and in QA, SIT, or UAT org? We have a lot of unorganized data. So, how can we manage this?
Okay, so these are two separate questions. So one is about calculating the ROI, return on investment of Agentforce, and the data part. So I think the data part I have covered, so that I'll leave.
Right.
But with the costing and ROI, so another challenge with these tools is most of the customers are pretty comfortable with the license based model, but these tools work on the consumption based model. So if you're not careful, your cost will shoot up, and then your customer will ask like, what the hell are you doing with like with my implementation, right? So first thing is you need to be careful, and it's difficult to estimate an agent force or data cloud project cost, but the customer wants to know how much it will cost before you have started the build, before uh, you may have done the discovery as well. Like to sign the statement of work, you need to have these values in place, right? So and it also comes from experience. There are different operations in Agentforce and Data Cloud. They have their own multipliers, and there are official Salesforce calculators. You need to involve Salesforce account executives also because they do have some extra information. So you need to know how much it will cost beforehand. So that is one thing that I missed telling earlier. And the ROI part was also a little tricky because many customers don't track what is their current metrics. Like suppose how much time does it take for an agent to solve a case? Like does it take 5 minutes? So when we implement these features, then we can track the mm, the metrics that with agent force you are able to solve the uh, case in 1 minute. So it's a direct 4 minutes re- reduction, and if you scale it up with multiple agents, this become even more impactful.
Right.
So it's important that you have a good idea of what the current state is, because unless that you won't know, or you won't be able to show what value these tools provide. So earlier when it was launched, so there was a lot of not a lot of reporting packages tools that Agentforce and Data, but now there are standard reports. And another thing is there are audit feedback data that is stored in Data Cloud. So whatever you do with Agentforce in terms of providing feedback is stored there. So if you want to make more complex reports, you can bring that data in and make reports based on that. But the basic high level thing is you need to know what the current state of the system is, and once you implement it, then you can show like the value it's providing. So and that is how you will get more work basically, because if you won't tell like if the value is 2x 3x or maybe more, then the customers will not find it really useful. So this
Right.
is how you can define the value. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. There's another question from Arjun. He says, as a consultant, how do we talk about Agentforce to the clients when their business might require it, but they don't extensively know or use English? Because use English, I'm not sure if that's a mistype or. Okay, let's continue. Because when we try to pitch ideas with such ideas that require use of English as a language, they kind of feel aligned and they think it will increase their workload on other way.
I see. So, like with Agentforce, it does support a lot of languages, and I've actually implemented Agentforce for Spanish, Portuguese languages as well.
Hmm.
But like even for using Salesforce, like I know many of these stuff can be translated to other language. You want to have you should have a basic understanding of English language to use these tools properly to build them. But I would not say it's the end of the world. You can still work with other languages. There are many supported languages as well. But yeah, the thing is that like as I mentioned, you do it in phases. You do it in, like, let's take a pilot project first for 5 users only, and we'll target a very small use case. And case summarization, as I was talking, is
Hmm.
an easy win. So case summarization, like, you can pitch like once we are done with the case summarization, that will wrap our pilot,
Yeah.
and then we can go to phase one, phase two, and then we can implement more complex use cases. So you need to demo the agent as well, like what it is possible, like build a small POC.
Yeah, that's very
Um,
important because it's new for many of the companies still and the clients. I mean, if we have a demo like a pilot project that you said, that's really helpful for a pitch to just
yep,
show them like capabilities of Agentforce, what it can do inside a Salesforce CRM, or maybe you can create a demo which is deployed to a website, and you can show how it will work as a customer service agent. If we have a practical scenario or a demo to show them, because in a lot of companies, I mean, there aren't any Agentforce projects right now. Maybe they are pitching for the first project to the business. They have to have a demo to, make the client understand that it is actually useful for them.
exactly. And when you're talking with the customers, mainly the business stakeholders, so you will not tell them that, like, I like will use flows,
Hmm.
will use prompt templates, Agentforce, and all these things. You will tell them that once your customer service human rep inputs this prompt, they will get this output, so they'll understand in that way. Yeah, so you need to know the audience as well. And as Monica mentioned, many of the companies are implementing Agentforce for the first time, so you need to show them something to get
Hmm.
them to
Correct.
over the line.
Exactly. Okay, we have another question from Abhishek. He says, wanted to ask about reusing agent prompts, or let's say we have reusable components, codes where we can use same code in other projects, same way we can use agent templates in other projects as well. Is it possible?
Yeah, so if you go to App Exchange or Agent Exchange, you'll see there is a package by Salesforce Labs, which is so if you know, so if you don't know what is Salesforce Labs, so Salesforce Labs is so they have very nice apps that are developed by active employees of Salesforce, and and they do it as side projects. So it's a very good operation that Salesforce is running. So good job on that. So with that, so I don't remember the exact name, but it's Agent Force Template something something. So you will see marketing, sales, and service related prompts, like generic prompts for different use cases that you can pick and use in a lot of projects. And many times, a lot of the information that you put in the prompts are reusable. For example, don't use uh, redundant words, or don't repeat information, or club the information for various uh, sources into one sentence and don't repeat it. And so many of these and give concise clear answers, and all these instructions can be repeated in a lot of projects, and the main set of instructions can be developed based on the use case, but many of the generic instructions can be repeated. And yeah, that is it.
Right. Uh,
And also one more thing, like I'm not sure how tech, like I assume some of the folks are technical. So so prompt template triggered flow is one thing, like through which you can give more input to the prompt template that may be difficult to capture in the prompt template itself. So when it was first launched, you can only assign one prompt template to one prompt flow to one prompt template. But now you can assign one prompt template to a class of, so sorry, you can assign one prompt flow to a class of prompt templates. So that also adds to the reusability aspect.
Yeah, that's perfect. That answers the question. We have another question which is related to what we were talking about, pitching to the client. Keshav says, I received the message from one of my clients asking how Agentforce can help them. Since I haven't explored Agentforce yet, what key features should I discuss with the client?
Okay, so first of all, as I mentioned, so you are your clients trusted at their paying you. So if they want to know about Agentforce, you should spend time on learning what it is. Go to the help documents, go to drill it. So,
Right.
but at a high level, summarization is an easy use case, generating field values and combining data from various sources into one, and then just prompting Agentforce uh, to like give some information based on that. All that separated data are good powerful use cases, but you need to explore it so you are confident enough when you're talking to the customer.
Yeah, that's true. If you're the point of contact to, explain them about Agentforce, you'll have to explore it as well. Then you'll be confident enough to, talk about any key features or commit anything. Okay, then we have one more question from Krishna. He says, "Do we have Salesforce cost calculator for Agentforce cost estimates?"
Yeah, there is an official calculator that was launched. It was mainly for data cloud, I would say.
Okay.
And there have been some changes recently on the costing part where instant requests are now converted to flex credits.
Mhm.
So you can use that, but I would not recommend to solely rely on that. And it's always good to include your Salesforce account executives because they have better tools and better information to support in the costing aspects, and they can and like if the customer has a long-standing relationship, then they can build out a plan for them or give some add-on benefits to them as well. So it's always good to have Salesforce um, account executives also in place, and you can use the calculator just to get an initial estimate, but not run it slowly.
Correct, correct. Okay, do you want to take more questions or continue with the slides first and then we'll take it ahead?
Yeah, I think yeah we did spend some time, so yeah, let's continue with the slides.
Okay, okay, perfect.
I see one question with the MCP server. It's interesting. uh, So I'm not sure if MCP server can, like your custom MCP server can be used directly, but if you have used Agentforce for Vibes, you can see a mention of the MCP server. And I was actually wondering the same thing, like, can I bring my own MCP server? I did not find any documentation, but this is something I need to experiment with. Okay, let's continue with the slides. We
Yeah,
took
correct.
good questions. Okay, then some standard Agentforce slides. We have talked about it mostly. This is how it looks like in the Agentforce Agent Builder workspace. So you can see, you can test it out, you can build the topics, you can build the actions, you can write instructions. And once you give it a prompt, you can see the response and you can see how the agent is thinking, the reasoning, and the logic behind it. Okay, so yeah, I think over the course of the session, like since we don't have a lot of time left, we covered these things as well, like why they are the next big thing or the important thing. um, yeah, so it gives time for us human folks to work on something more interesting and important. But as humans, you need to think one step ahead, like what will you do after that task is done. Okay, and it's cost efficient. You need to be smart on how to make use of it. And it's a and there are and I like I've seen, like mostly we are making use of generating capabilities with Agentforce, but with Data Cloud you can build your own prediction model, so it can help with the predictive capabilities as well. So that's something as a homework that you can explore. And yeah, it can handle millions of interactions, and that's all you know. Yeah, so these are just, I wanted to just explain the benefits in detail. uh, like it provides a unified view as I mentioned, but the thing is, like, well, while I was taking the session, I think I covered most of the points, and you get more personalized responses and proactiveness. Like suppose a customer is and see, like, so this is how you develop the use cases, like once you know what the tool is capable of. Okay, so with proactiveness, like let's see, so let's say you see that the customer is actively looking for articles on how to take care of their shoes or what is the warranty period. So you can anticipate that the customer is going to raise a case in a few minutes, hours, or days. So suppose how crazy it will be if you reach out to the customer yourself first proactively and just tell them like you have been exploring these articles, so are you interested in knowing about the opportunity, and do you connect, and do you want to connect with someone to understand it better. And like, so I don't think shoes like may have been a good example, but let's think of high value like uh, pricey Christian Dior bags that cost maybe lakhs of rupees. So if you see some customer is going through those articles, so you can reach out to them proactively, you can give them a better experience. So, and it's, and some customers are taking this into consideration, but it's still a very new use case, I would say, and not many customers are taking advantage of it. So this is how you develop use cases. And another thing is consistency, like, so what I've seen, so many of, in many places, separate human service reps to take care of the chat support cases, take care of the email, the phone calls. There are separate departments altogether. So there's obviously a different consistency when different humans are involved, right? But as a company, as a brand, you want to send maybe uh, like a consistent message to your customers who are reaching out to them. So with AI tools, it's easy to define that consistency. So yeah, you can take advantage of it. And then is like scalable and consistent. We talked about consistent already. uh, it's easy to scale, like suppose if you build the pilot for 5 users because the customer was afraid like what will happen once we go live, and let's say after a month they are comfortable, then you can easily scale from 5 users to 20,000 users as well. So you just need to assign them the correct permissions and
Mhm.
groups. So and that will be it. But suppose if that is not involved, so you need to train 15,000 agents more to get to that part, and it will take a lot of time, effort, money. So uh, yeah, and consisting and multilingual capabilities, like we talked about this somewhat. But but Agentforce is smart enough, like I was trying to experiment it with like suppose if you define the user's language as Portuguese or Spanish or French or something, then Agentforce is smart enough to give the response in that particular language, and it also takes your device's language into consideration as well. So you don't have to explicitly tell it that if the user language is this, give the response in this. Agentforce is smart enough to do that, and I was positively surprised to see that. Then empowering human agents, as I mentioned, you need to be one step ahead. So you can give your mundane tasks to your agent, and now it's able to do even some complex tasks as well. And it provides with quicker answers, like so when I was doing my MBA, so once I completed my first year, so then Agentforce was so then ChatGPT and all these tools were announced. It changed how we used to work, like how we used to do research. Like suppose I was preparing a thesis or a project, then I was going to Google links earlier, but then I shifted to Gemini and ChatGPT. So there was a big shift that happened that time. So it provides you real-time assistance, and a lot of people are actually moving from browser search to GPT.
Yeah, that's true too. I do the same thing. I mean, before it was only Google, just go to Google and search anything. It's like Chat GPT and Gemini now. I rarely go to Google and search for something because there are a lot of data, right? On Google we have a lot of links. But like Chat GPT somehow summarizes it for you and gives you the useful information in pointers. And I mean, you get the data access early than going to Google and go through several, links to
Yep.
get the results.
Right. And so many of the people will already know about SEO, search engine optimization.
Mhm.
Now
Yes.
people are moving towards AEO, which is agent engine optimization. So
Mhm.
if you may have heard at this Dreamforce, so they announced how Commerce Cloud is going to be in a partnership with OpenAI, AI as well on the
Hmm.
specific commerce scenario, because one of the competitors also is like I think so many companies are entering this space. So what will happen is, like, suppose, like, let's, like, if you, because we were talking about shoes since the starting, so let's say you want to order a pair of new shoes. Then instead of going to Google, you will go to um, chat gpt, for example, and you will just mention, like, I want to order a shoe between this range for running, like this
Hmm.
color, size, and all. So it will give you the options, and it will give you the photos and maybe the links
Yeah, right.
uh, as well. So you can just, and so how your link will appear at the top, like how, like, if Amazon links appears at top, or if actual Nike one, or Myntra, or Nika, and like, so companies are moving in that direction as well, like how
Hmm.
can their link appear at the top of that agent's
Agent search
response. so
response. Yeah.
so 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 that thing is also happening. But currently I'm seeing that so you still need to click a link, and it will go to that different page, right? But in the future,
Hmm.
you will see these announcements will also be made that many companies will start partnering with tools like ADN or PayPal or Klarna, who handle payments. So you won't need to go to the other their main website as well. You can completely finish the whole buying process within ChatGPT. So how amazing that would be. So the world is moving that in that direction. So, like, if those use cases, like, you're still not seeing, you can see that if you know and if you're aware, you can still give the value, and you can ideate these use cases for your customers, like, just to make them see, like, what is the art of the possible.
Hmm. Right.
Yeah, and these are just some things that we have talked about. And the proactive customer engagement, we talked about it a bit. And one thing I would say, that with like, if only Agentforce is involved, it's a pretty easy project to implement. But as soon as data cloud is involved, and you are taking data from multiple sources, and you are harmonizing, and you are using flows, automations,
Hmm.
so that's when the project becomes complex. So this is also something, like, if you do a standalone Agentforce projects, it may not be as complex as people may think, because they have not used it. Okay, so yeah, these are just some generic stuff that I just mentioned on the slides.
Hmm.
You can read them, but we have talked about them, so I don't want to spend a lot of time here. So these were some of the use cases of resolution we have talked about. And one thing is, suppose in those big sale periods that I was talking about. So earlier, like, suppose if you want to return something, right? So you'll reach out to the customer support, and they'll validate and stuff. So suppose if you say, like, suppose if the order amount is less than, let's say, 5,000 rupees, then we don't want to do any kind of approval. Like, you just interact, like how you interact with Swiggy and Zomato now. Like, if they think that the order amount is less, and you're not uh, asking for a refund every day, so they may not even ask a lot of questions to you, and they will simply issue the refund. Like, let's say it's a 10-20 rupees refund. But in case, let's say, like if the order amount is more than 5,000 rupees, then it may be transferred to a human agent. So this is also happening quite actively in the ecosystem. Personalized recommendations, I've also built this use case using Data Cloud and Agentforce. Lead qualification, so this is for sales, field service, and there is Agentforce for scheduling as well, which is a standard Agentforce for service use case. And there are summaries, pre-work briefs, post-work briefs, and field service scenario that you can do. Okay, I've mentioned it as well. So these are some of the possible use cases. Five attributes are like when you're building an agent, you may have seen the slide. So you need to define what the agent can do, what is their job, their role, what is the data access, what all capabilities they will have, what are the guardrails that you'll define in the instructions, and what channel they'll work in, voice, or your website, or WhatsApp. So these can be the different channels. Yeah, I think then think I'm good. These are just some standard slides I put in, but yeah, we can take questions. I think that will be better. And so earlier, Agentforce was not yet available in a developer edition. Now it is for quite some time.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's take the questions. Um, okay, the MCV one you have taken care of. So there's one question from Abhishek. He says, "What are some common pitfalls to avoid during the rollout of Agentforce?"
So adoption is really important, because what happens is you build the project and it's working, but sometimes it like people may not be aware of how to access the agent. So it's really important that you work on the change management. Like, I've not seen any other tool in which change management is as important as with Agentforce and data cloud related projects. And it's important to take feedback continuously. So I generally do this in my projects. I take feedback very frequently, so I can enhance the agent and the implementation altogether. But even after the implementation, they've like you can have your custom, or you can use the standard feedback objects, and then you can analyze which makes more sense, because these needs to be continuously upgraded so they can perform at the most optimal rate for you. Some points on that direction.
Mhm. Yeah, perfect. I think the best way is to take feedback and then work on it accordingly. Um, okay, there was one question previously which I missed. That is from Krishna. That is on you to answer if you want to answer. That he says, "Could you please share white papers for all the use cases you listed in there?"
No, I will not share the white papers, because I want like you to do the research, because you need to just Google them and find
Mhm.
it. So I can do it for you, but I don't think I'll share the white papers with you.
Perfect.
Like so like everything is available, and it's a good call out though, because many people only consider help documents and trailhead and all these things.
Yeah, correct.
The white papers are very very detailed, and if you go to good interviews, then you'll see that the interviews may ask questions from those things that may not be available in
Mhm.
other places.
Right. Perfect. There is one more question from Arjun. He says, "Do you have any tips for creating utterances while building agents that can cover all the use cases?"
Sorry, what is the question? Do you want to build what?
Do you have any tips for creating utterances while building agents that can cover all use cases?
Sorry. Okay, okay. You're seeing from the. I was in the wrong tab. Uh,
In Q&A, it's the latest one.
as a consultant, how to talk? This one? No. Could you please say what? No. Which one is it? Have you noticed any? Like, I did not understand the question. Like, what were you saying?
Okay, Arjun, can you maybe rephrase it? You see his question in Q?
Arjun Gupta, as a consultant, how do you talk about agent first to the clients?
No,
Like,
after that, do you have any tips
uh,
for creating utterances while building agents that can cover all the use cases?
okay. Do you have any oh, utterances? Okay. Any tips for creating utterances while building agents that can cover all use cases? Yeah, I would need more explanation of what he wants to
Yeah,
ask.
correct.
All use cases.
Arjun, can you explain it a bit more to give us the context of your question?
Oh, I think I get it. So if you suppose you have a single topic, let's say customer service and case summarization, field generation,
Hmm.
uh, some other record summarization, or all these, like, so there may be other topics. So you want to know how to develop the utterance, or when a particular action should be triggered based on the user input, is what I understand from his question. So ultimately it depends on your instruction. Like, you can have all the actions that you have prepared in one agent, for example, but you need to
Hmm.
very clearly define the instruction. Like, suppose if the customer asks for summarize a case, then you run these actions, and you give this output and finish it. And if the customer wants to generate field values for the case record, then you generate these actions in a sequential manner. So you would want to define the instructions very clearly, and
Right.
there is a place to give examples as well. So there you can define like what normal examples people will use, like summarize
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
case number something something, so you can put this in the example.
Correct, correct. Yeah, I mean, if instructions are precise, the use cases will be covered.
Right, and one more important thing is, so I've seen like if you have the same instructions, everything built and let's say work, and you take it to QA, you may get a
Hmm.
different response. So it's important that you test it out because Agentforce works
Yeah.
a little differently than other products. So it depends a
Hmm.
lot on your on your org data as well. So you need to test it out in different environments, and even if everything is same configuration wise, it may work a little differently.
Correct. That's true. That's true. Okay, we have one more question from Sahil. Have you noticed any performance differences when connecting Agentforce with custom data models?
Yes, I have seen. So like, but let's talk about standard models first. So it depends on your use case, like how complex this is. Like if you just want to summarize a record, then you can use the standard model, the OpenAI GPT-4 Omni model that Salesforce has. But let's say if you have more complex use cases, then there are pro or high level or like better models of those companies available. And the thing is, you may get the response a a bit longer, but it may be a bit accurate. Like suppose if you're doing some financial modeling stuff and you want to predict some financial values based on the data, and you don't want to uh, and you don't and you want to use a complex model, then it's a good use case, but it will take more time. And it's the same case with custom models as well. It depends on the data volume and the training data, the parameters they have.
Hmm. Correct, correct. Okay, we have another one from Abhishek. Can Agentforce work in a scenario where we have omni-channel implemented and when a case is routed to service person, service representative, and while picking the case or before picking the case, Agentforce can provide the details related to the case like knowledge articles or any feedback on the case.
So this is a very easy use case, and it's a standard use case. Like
Hmm.
it's Einstein slash Agentforce for service, and article recommendations. So it will take your article's title and summary into consideration, and it will read your case data, and it will read a case description summary, and it will give you the suggested articles on your knowledge component. Like your standard knowledge component can be replaced by this article recommendations component, and it will do the job. Like it's a standard feature, and that will be better handled by Einstein slash Agentforce for service. But you can also develop it with Agentforce, but it's like if it's already available, it's better to use the standard
Yeah,
approach.
correct, correct. Right. Okay, we have another one from Krishna. Does Agentforce provide any Android supported chat app template that we can use to distribute to our customers to use while we give guest role to the customer?
So I'm not sure what he means by chat app template. Like, are you talking about what responses customers can use? Because Agentforce can work in different channels. Like I'm working on a use case where Agentforce will be implemented for WhatsApp.
Hmm.
So that is possible, but I don't understand what you mean by template in this case.
We can use to distribute to our customers to use. Krishna, are you talking about like what Agentforce implementation with WhatsApp or something, or is it a different question?
Chat app template.
Yes, yes, that's what he's asking. That if Agentforce can be implemented in WhatsApp, and then maybe they want to provide their customers access to that, like a guest role or something.
Yeah, that you can do, and like it will be similar. Like if you have Agentforce, let's say on your website, and you're interacting, like there's a multi-layered conversation going on, multiple replies and questions. So it will be the same way in WhatsApp as well. There are native connectors that you can use, and you don't need to build something out of the box as well. You need to
Hmm.
have WhatsApp as a channel, and then you can define what the channel will be for Agentforce. So that is possible. Yeah, but
Right.
that is what. So yeah, like it all this this information is there because you asked this question. It will be great if you'll go and look into the documents and then maybe build out your own use case, because that's how you'll understand. So this is not a third party integration. They have a native connector that you can use. You just need to authenticate it.
Correct. We have. Do we have another one? Yeah, it's again from Krishna. Do we have to pay third-party integration, or is it available in Salesforce ecosystem?
No, no,
I think
yeah,
he's talking about
yeah,
the WhatsApp one.
yeah. This is available.
Okay, so that's available. We don't have to pay the third-party integration anything.
Yes, like you can use integration tools if you want to like make it more complex, or you have a complex use case where WhatsApp or maybe other systems are involved, but there are a lot of native connectors with Agentforce and Data Cloud now. WhatsApp is a popular one. They have
Hmm.
a partnership with Meta.
Right. I think we have taken all the questions.
Uh,
There's one more from Shifali. She says, our vouchers are really so much valuable. Like freshers recruiting is getting difficult day by day.
so Shifali, like I had this question in my physical event also. So like there is no one answer that anyone can give you in this, because it depends on your job description basically. And the thing is, like in a country like ours, where there are a lot of skilled, educated people who have experience as well, and everyone has their circumstances. So even the experienced folks are ready to work for fresher level stuff. So yeah, that's why the recruiting is being difficult. And vouchers, it depends. Like suppose there's a hard requirement in the job description that we really want a Salesforce admin, then obviously,
Hmm.
like if you don't have it, it will be difficult for you to go ahead. And as I mentioned, it's easy to find people in a country like us. But I don't recommend, like if you're a student or if you are paying out of your pocket, because once you are in a place, you'll get the vouchers, but it's just to get the foot in the door.
Yeah.
Because like think of it from a company perspective. If they send out a job, like thousands of people will apply, so how will they filter out? They don't want to interview everyone, right? So that's why they have this criteria. But if you are building something, you just show it on LinkedIn, you post about it, you build a project, you reach out to people. So it's just about getting your foot in the door. But yeah, I do agree and sympathize with you that freshers recruiting is getting difficult.
Hmm, that's true. That's true. It's being difficult day by day. That's really, really tough for them.
Yep.
But I think what Rohan said that, you have to level up your game and then just be out there, post about it if you learn something or build something so that you stand out from the crowd, because recruiters may be getting a lot of resumes. How they will figure out whom to reach out for an interview or something. Your resume have to stand out for that.
Yep. Yeah, it was a good discussion. We have a good audience. We do have a lot of questions coming in throughout the session. So yeah, I enjoyed it as well.
But it was really engaging. I hope everybody found it useful. I found it useful personally. That was a really, really awesome session, Rohan. We have a quiz as well.
Oh yeah.
Let's just jump into the quiz and then we'll have a group selfie. So everybody will turn their camera on and then we'll just have a virtual group picture here. Okay. I am sharing my screen for the quiz. Everybody get ready. This quiz is not created by me. If you find the questions difficult, blame it to Rohan. I am not, I'm just hosting it. Okay, I'll share my screen.
So like funnily, so I built some difficult questions, but then I removed most of the difficult questions, so it should
No,
be
but
easy.
I added
Oh,
that
okay, cool.
because the simple ones were too simple.
Ah, I know.
Uh, okay, let's remove this. Let's remove this. I think I'll need to choose something else. One second. Hmm. Okay. Okay, is it visible to everybody? If yes, scan this QR code and you'll enter this quiz. Please add your real name and no nickname so that we can identify. If you somehow cannot scan the QR, you can go to play.bluekit.com and enter this game ID. I'll enter this game ID and link in the chat. Okay, we'll wait for a few more seconds and then I'll start the quiz.
Yeah, so someone mentioned please connect on LinkedIn. So yes, you can search me. I look the same in my picture as well, and I'm pretty approachable. But it depends. Like, so I'll be answering your questions like I do reply to everyone, but it may take time, and it depends like what kind of question you are asking. So. So I would recommend like first do a Google first because I will not give you answer if it's already easily available. But if you want to learn or ask or advice or like want some guidance, then I'll provide that.
Okay, let's just start the quiz. All the best, everybody. May the best three wins. Let's start. Same questions will be coming on your screens, on your mobile screens, or from whichever device you have connected. That's a pretty easy one. Okay, let's go to the next one. These are the candidates. What is the number one reason an AI is a human agent's new best friend? Not a competitor, but a best friend. Okay, good. Let's go next. With Salesforce Cloud leverages AI agents for lead scoring and opportunity insights. That's a pretty easy one if you know about Salesforce and its clouds. Perfect. Okay, according to the evolving customer landscape, what is the primary cause of agent burnout? Let's go to the next. I'm here, I guess. You have to be quick. If you know the answer, just click on it. What is a key feature of Agentforce that allows for rapid deployment of AI agents? Great. Shivam, Shefali, and Lehar. Let's go to the next one. What benefits allow AI agents to free human agents from mundane tasks so they can focus on high value interactions? Rohan, do you want to help them?
Sure. Yeah, but
No,
these
you
questions are
can't.
yeah, but these questions are pretty easy. So
Yeah, this is. How does Data Cloud enable AI agents to deliver hyper personalized interactions? Read the options carefully before you click. Hmm, that's a mix of response. Okay, let's have the next question. What is a major advantage of AI agents regarding service availability? That's a really easy one. That's great.
Yep, everyone knew.
Okay, last two questions, everybody. How do AI agents empower new human agents during processes? Great. Everybody said the same thing. Now let's go for the last one. Which of the following is a real world case for AI agents in a sales context? And we have our winners. On third rank, we have Leher. Second, we have Sai Supriya. And first, we have Arjun. Congratulations to all the winners. You can take a screenshot of this. I'll also take it from here. Okay. All three of you, please paste your email addresses, the correct ones, in the chat so that we can reach out to you. I'll be sending out a form to you. Fill up that information and send it back to me, please. Okay, I have Arjun. Leher, please paste your email address so that I can reach out to you for your goodie. Okay, it's here. Okay, everyone, that is the end of the session. But before we go, let's just turn your camera on and let's have a picture together. Let me know if you're able to turn on your camera. I am providing access to everyone.
For what do you need the email?
So they had won the current quiz. So Monica will send out some small swag to them. So that's why she wants to get the email so she can send out the gift.
Okay, everyone, turn on your camera fast. Let's have a picture together. Rohan, can you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, please turn on your camera.
So Eduardo, so you're joining from where?
Brazil,
Oh, great.
Wow, that's
it's
great.
early morning.
Yeah,
Did you like the session? Was it insightful?
It was interesting. I'm a very beginner, so some things are new and I don't follow up, but mainly I got the idea.
Mhm.
great.
Everyone, please turn on your camera. Don't leave the call. Turn on your camera. Be a sport. It's just about one picture. Shefali, Krishna.
It's okay. Like no one will comment on your looks or like no one actually cares. So yeah.
Yeah, that's just a group picture to see. Arjun, you're a winner. Come on.
Yeah, we
Or
can
are
give.
you prepping up?
So we can give Arjun's swag to someone else if he does not turn up the camera.
Yeah, let's just make it to that. If you turn on the camera only, then you're a winner. um, are you guys turning it on? Just give us a thumbs up or something in the chat. That's okay, Arjun. You can turn it on. That's really okay. Is anybody else turning it on, or we should just click a picture?
You can have the virtual backgrounds as well. I
Yeah,
have it
just
as.
have a virtual background and open it now. You don't have to talk, just a picture. Arjun is saying Diwali cleaning has been undergoing by my side. Hey, you're there. Okay, Krishna, turn your camera on. Don't cry. He's saying I'm crying.
Oh,
Okay, last 10 seconds if anybody's turning it on. Otherwise, just take a picture of us then. Okay. Smile, whoever is having the camera on. I'm taking a picture. Perfect. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining the session. Thank you, Rohan. It was really, really insightful. We have learned a lot of things. The session was so interactive. Everybody has their questions, and you have answered them beautifully. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the next session really soon. Thank you so much. You'll find the recording on the session page, and also I have pasted the YouTube channel. It will be uploaded on by tomorrow, so you can just find the recording there as well. Thank you so much, everyone,
yep.
for joining. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Rohan.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.